All right, just a quick little video here. When players play a hand really strong, you have to realize that they don't necessarily have the nuts, and I'll explain real quick a couple examples. I just had a hand right now where I play at ace deuce offsuit, which is not a hand I normally play. If there was multiple limpers, I was on the button. So what the hell, I threw in $3. The flop comes 3, 4, 5, rainbow. So I flopped a wheel. And bad player, he always has something when he's betting. He bets over the pot. The pot's like $30. He bet 50. And I called, and I'm thinking, okay, he's got something here. He's got something strong, like a straight or maybe a set. The turn was a 9 of spades, which brought in backdoor spades. And he just went all in for $200. And I ended up folding, but as I think back on it, if he had the nuts, if he flopped the nuts, if he flopped a straight period, would he really play it that strong? I mean, if he had the nuts, if he had 6, 7, and it was a rainbow board, there's nothing to really protect against, why would he bet it that strong? He's doing it to protect his hand versus if I had a straight draw, right? So if I had a deuce or a 6 in my hand, he wants to protect and just take it down now if he's got something like a set. If he's got a straight, would he really bet it that strong? Probably not. So my wheel is good. I cannot fold a wheel there. Even though it's a rec player and he's got something, he's probably checking or not betting at all or betting small. It just doesn't make sense for someone to overbet and go crazy to protect their hand when there's nothing to protect from. I mean, it was a rainbow board. It wasn't like there's 2 hearts on the board, and then you could say, okay, he's got a straight, he's protecting that. But that wasn't the case. I have another example where a guy 3-bet in PLO. I was in a tournament, and I called. And I had like Queen Jack 10 with a spade draw, and the flop comes Ace King, a deuce or something with 2 spades. And the ace was not a spade, and he bet. And I called because I had he's not folding the set of aces if he's got aces, which is probably what he has. But I'm not going to fold with a Broadway draw and a spade draw. The turn brought in a spade. It was like a low spade, so my flush came in. And putting him on something like top set, I want to charge him, so I bet a decent size. And he jammed all in on the turn. And I'm thinking, oh, he must have a higher spade. I had the second nut flush. And only thing that I lose to is the ace-high flush. The ace on the board was not a spade. And I folded. If I think about it, though, if he had like the nut flush, which is what he's representing, and top set, would he really jam there? Or would he call trying to rope me in to try to, there's nothing he's scared of. So if he's jamming, he can't have the nut flush. And I gave him too much credit thinking that, he's just, they got to have the nuts, right? It's an old guy, just like this last time. It's an old guy, a rec player. He's just got to have it. He's got to have the nuts. And I end up folding like the third nuts here and the second nuts there. And I think that's a terrible fold because it makes no sense. Why would someone play something so strong if they had the nuts? Same thing as today. Why would someone play something so strong if they had the nuts? If he's drawing to a boat and he has the nut flush, he's hoping I have a 2 pair or something with it where he can, cooler me on a river. He doesn't want to chase me out. So there's no way he would actually play the nut flush like this. Now that's putting him on aces, right? If he doesn't have aces, maybe he would jam all in with the ace-high flush in the tournament to take it down. But I don't know. I mean, it's definitely a blocker play, a good play by him where he can get better to fold, and he's still got outs if he's wrong. So that was one that kind of wish I had back. Of course, I ended up taking 7th in the tournament, and I only did the 1 bullet, and it's possible that he could have filled up, but or it's possible he had the nut flush, but he said he didn't, and I kind of believe him. And then one guy said to me, well, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense if he had a set of aces with a nut flush, why he would raise you there. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. That doesn't make a lot of sense. He'd have to have just the ace-x of spades, which, again, he could have. He could have lied to me. But there's just certain situations where if someone plays something really strong, if they play it super strong, why would they play it super strong if they had the nuts? You have to ask yourself that. Some people just, they see their hand, they go crazy. They love their hand, they're going to go crazy with it. Makes no sense. But, anyone that's played for a little bit is not going to want, they're going to want to rope somebody in. They're not going to want to blow them off the hand to protect when they've got like the nuts with the nut redraw. Or in this case, if he had the nut straight with nothing to be scared of, he probably had a set and he's thinking I was drawn to a straight and wanted me out of there. So there's more of a chance in that than him playing really strong the nut straight. So maybe this is a little FYI. I thought it was a kind of interesting thing that I've thought about recently when a couple hands came up where, you know, you have to ask yourself, would someone play a really strong hand like this? You know, if there was a flush draw on the board, then I could see, okay, yeah, he just wants to protect. But if there really isn't many draws and there's, you know, I don't know. It just doesn't. If he had the nut straight, would he really play it like that? That's the thing. I just felt like more like a set. So, if I was to take it back, I would have called there, and I would have probably called in the PLO tournament too. Of course, tournament, that was for my tournament life, so that's a little tougher. But anyway, FYI, hopefully that is informative for you guys.